So we're going to start the session now. If anybody can tell me, what do we understand by intellectual property? What does it mean? Anybody? So intellectual property, it is anything that you create. It is your creation of mind. That means it means intellectual property, because intellectual comes from the word thinking. So like I was mentioning, the types of IPs there are that I'm going to discuss today are primarily these four: trademarks, copyrights, patents, and designs. So what do we understand by trademarks? If anybody can answer this. Okay, so trademarks are anything that a brand name, a logo, a label. Let's say this water bottle signature is a brand name. In the font that is written is the logo, and this entire green packaging is a label. So these consist of various types of trademarks. But this is resembling to distillery a lot. So this is also a case of infringement. So people buying fake Nike shoes, fake Adidas shoes, or Puma or whatsoever, please note that the companies are very strict on this. They take legal actions. They conduct a lot of raids in the market because of these trademarks, and their logo is being copied for inferior material, inferior quality products. So they do a lot of market investigation raids. However, in India, buying a counterfeit product is not a crime, but selling is. But as an individual, we should be aware that it hits the company financially, and it demoralizes them. In fact, I'll share one example. The Paris attacks which happened, I'm sure people would remember that. That was because of sale of fake Nike shoes. 500 rupees, 1000 rupees, you get a good pair of Nike shoes, and you think that we are wearing a branded shoes. But the consequences of these buying of such counterfeit products, what happened in France, in Paris, because of that terrorist attack. So I mean, these infringers, the cost to them is like 100 200 rupees, and they sell it for 1000 rupees, and they have a good margin. But the company, be it any company, so they have a lot of infrastructure, R&D, everything. You guys being students of various streams, you understand the time and energy it goes into the R&D of any product, be that may. So I would request at starting of the session that kindly avoid buying counterfeit products. I know it is easy to find, it is easy on the pocket, but eventually it hurts the economy and the country. Like I mentioned, there are 4 types of trademarks. There are 6 types of copyrights also. One is the artistic one, anything that you create, you draw. If I ask, I think there are about 70-80 people in this room. If I ask you to draw a picture of a Mahatma Gandhi, and everybody will draw something of their own, and every image will be different from each other. So that is your intellectual property, that is your copyright, because that you have created, and since it will be different from each of you, this is where your copyright is protected. The other is literary. It's very obvious, anything that you write a book, you write a song, you write a tagline maybe, that comes under literary. Artistic, I've shared. Literary is there. Cinematography, anything that you create, maybe a dance video which has music, which has your moves, choreography, that is all under protected under cinematography. So these are certain kind of copyrights. Patents. Coming to patents, patents generally people use it interchangeably. I've seen in my 6 years of career in IP. Patents is something generally people say, and sir was asking me, how do I protect my idea? Ideas are not protected under patents. Under patents, it's all about technology and innovation. However, like I told sir that if anybody has an idea, you have to write it on a piece of paper from start to end. Every minute detail has to be there, and it will be protected under the Copyright Act and not patents. Patents is all about technology and innovation. So if you guys happen to develop anything unique, or you alter a existing product in the market which improves its efficiency and it helps the people at large, so that process, the process that you have identified and changed, that will protect under patents. Now, if I talk about design, let's say I have this phone. Every phone is different from each other. Every car is different from each other. Every product is different. So all these products are protected under design, which is visually you can see, tell, and differentiate. Am I not audible? Okay. So like I said, trademark, that should be distinctive. It should not be in conflict with any other mark. It should be easy recognizable that yes, this particular name or logo or label represents XYZ. Can somebody tell me what brand is this? Very easy, because they have been in business for so long. They have created an identity of their own. You recognize the logo. If you see this logo maybe on a shoe, you'll not buy it, because you know that Tata is not into apparels at the moment. They don't make shoes. Obviously, you're not going to buy. So this you have to take care of. You have to also know which brand deals in what product, and are they entering a new category, so that you avoid buying counterfeit and fake products, which is eventually good for you also, because at times it can be a safety hazard also. I'll give you a short example of maybe Ray-Ban glasses. How many of us use glasses? Ray-Ban, Wayfarer, anything? Show of hands maybe. So Ray-Ban and Wayfarer are not shape of glasses. They are trademark of a company called Luxottica. It is a design. It is not a name. It's a trademark and a name for the company called Luxottica. So you buy fake Ray-Ban or Wayfarer from roadside vendors or any prominent shop which is not selling original Ray-Ban or Wayfarer or any other brand for that matter. So the R&D that goes into that glasses, of making of that glasses, that vision is not impacted. The color scheme, if you're wearing that in the sun, it should not, the UV rays should not come into your eyes. People who are making fake products or counterfeiters, they don't keep all this in mind. So eventually what happens, it affects your eyes. You don't know right now, but few years down the line you'll say, yaar meri aankhein kharab ho gayi hai, mere ko specs lag gaye hain, I've got numbers, now I have to wear spectacles. So small things like this will affect you eventually. Not immediately, but yes, it will. So like I said, please avoid using this. Again, a prominent brand, a local brand I would say. Toyota is, I think, manufactured in Bangalore only, or nearby actually. Again, there's some, I mean, they both represent H, Honda and Hyundai, but they both are distinctive. You can, if I have two cars in front of me, you can identify with the logo or with the shape of the body which comes with the designs. Like I was given an example of this water bottle. If everybody can see here, the word mark, like I had mentioned here, signature, the word mark super dry, service mark or the logo for McDonald's and Lacoste. And the color combination, I'll give you a very good color combination example. Cadbury's. You will always see Cadbury's chocolate in a purple and golden color. They have exclusive rights on the color purple and golden. Though you cannot have rights on the Vibgyor colors, the 7 colors, but in combination, yes. Christian Dior recently they received a trademark registration for their footwear with red and black color combination. If somebody has seen that. Likewise, Cadbury's also have been granted the color combination trademark for purple and golden. So if you see anything, you will never see a Cadbury in any other color except these two. These are some of the unconventional trademarks. I think about in 2018 or 19, if I'm right, Taj Mahal Hotel in Mumbai. Anybody seen? Anybody visited there? That was in, I think, 2019 or 18. That monument or that tomb on that hotel was awarded with a trademark because it was very peculiar. It had a very different shape. It represents the country, and that was awarded a trademark. Because there's no other building similar to that. So it is unique in itself. Anybody, I'll talk about scents, fragrances. Anybody visited ITC property in maybe Bangalore and anywhere else? Anybody? Show of hands? No. So if you go to any ITC property across India, as soon as you enter the reception area, the lobby area, you'll feel a particular fragrance, a very peculiar fragrance you'll sense, and that is across all the properties. So that means they have got trademarks on the scent, on the mixture, the combination of various substances, and that is how they've got the fragrance trademark. So this is how these unconventional trademarks are very rare, and people generally don't use this. Prominently, trademarks which are filed in India and are granted are, like I had mentioned, logos, labels, and names. Even if I want to, I'll give you an example of another unconventional trademark. Sachin Tendulkar, I'm sure everybody knows him. He had got his signature trademark because one, renowned personality, everybody knows him, there's nobody who can copy him, and so his signature has also been trademarked. So anything which is unique, different, you can protect it. Like I was giving an example of the color combination of Cadbury's and all. Anybody recognize this tractor? Which brand is this? Right. So John Deere you will always find in green and yellow only, and no other color. I think it is easy to differentiate between what is Escort, what Ace, and John Deere. Shape trademarks. Which brand is this? Yes. So Crocs, they have a very different style of footwear. Particularly, these were made for beach wears. The holes that they have, a lot of R&D has been done on this. The positioning of the holes, if sand and water combinedly, if they enter your shoe or slippers, whatever they're wearing, how will it go out? In case, I'm sure most of us would have faced this issue. If you wear a normal slipper or a sandal maybe, or a shoe to the beach, the 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 sand, it stays there. But in this, it has been positioned in a way, that the water and sand quickly moves out. Yes, obviously it will be there, but not as much as comparatively in the shoe or a slipper. So that is how they've got a shape trademark. Anybody has any questions? Hologram trademark. Anybody know what is a hologram? So if you see a product, a three-dimensional product, where if I'm seeing a particular angle, it is visible in a different color. Maybe if I tilt my hand, the image, I will see in a different color or a font maybe. So that is a hologram trademark. But these are all under unconventional trademark. The general public at large generally don't use these. Big corporates, giants, they use this. Sound trademark, another very interesting unconventional trademark. So all these brands that you see here, be it Yahoo, they have this doodle, Yahoo. So they have this particular sound, and nobody has that. So that means they have this trademark to themselves. If anywhere you hear this, or for that matter Nokia, that very famous ringtone, किसी के भी फोन में बजता है, you know that this guy has a Nokia. So these have created a brand identity. Any Tom and Jerry show you must have seen in your childhood, this famous brand would be there. So, and a roaring sound, the program is about to start. So every sound that they have, these brands have been granted with trademark, because they're very unique sounds that they are using to promote their brand. This is the Taj Mahal, Mumbai, I was talking about. So this dome that, can I have a pointer or something? So this dome, the upper portion of this, like I was mentioning, has been granted with a trademark couple of years back. This tomb, because this is unique in itself. It's been there for I don't know how many decades now, and there is no other architecture like this in India. One important thing, I think I missed sharing it in the beginning of my session, that trademarks are generally, no, not generally, they are territorial in nature. Let's say if I file a trademark in India, I will have my rights for that product, for the word, for that logo in India only. If let's say somebody copies this and start using this in maybe Pakistan, Nepal, Bangladesh, US, wherever, I have no rights of my Indian trademark in their jurisdiction. Trademarks are territorial in nature. Any trademark certificate granted by Indian Trademark Office, there are 5 trademark offices in India: Delhi, Chennai, Calcutta, Ahmedabad, and Mumbai. So all these are divided by the regions, and trademark once granted, the certificates once issued for any shape or logo or whatsoever is restricted to the territory of India. You cannot say claiming that I have a trademark registration in India and somebody is using my mark in Dubai or US, I want to take legal action. No. If you think you are planning to, maybe once you are out of college and you start your own business and or maybe you grow so well within the organization if you work for somebody, and you can always guide them that in case you are planning to expand your business operations in any of the countries outside India, people need to apply for trademarks there also. Uh, Not only trademarks, in fact, patents, design, copyrights, everything. India is a signatory, important thing that you guys should know. In that India is a signatory of WIPO. Anybody heard of WIPO or Madrid Convention before? Okay, so WIPO is a governing body of all the trademark offices across the signatory countries. So there, if I want to file an application sitting here, I can do that easily under that convention. My application will be getting priority. Rather than hiring somebody's services in, let's say, a neighboring country, Bangladesh, and instead if I file using WIPO or the Madrid Convention, it would be easier and economical. Example of a 3D dimensional trademark. Okay, anybody knows what is trademark infringement? So trademark infringement is if somebody is using my brand name or my logo, and I am under the law of Section 29 of the Trademark Act, I am allowed to take legal actions against that person. This is something technical which I don't think is relevant. Okay. Anybody heard about these brands? So sometime back, like other business houses in India, Parley was also, they had gone under a split, and they had the businesses were divided, the products were divided, but they both continue using the same brand. They had a memorandum that was signed between both the parties that since Parley was a renowned brand since ages, and they would continue using that, but nobody would copy each other's sub brand. So Parley as a brand, one brother is using Monaco, the other one is using Crack Jack for the same type of biscuit. One has a square biscuit, one has a circle biscuit, but it's the same thing. Slightly different. You can't have. I can't trademark the feel thing. So anyway, there are so many homegrown bakeries. Not many famous big bakeries. They also have a different texture, but taste also different. Everybody has a different recipe for everything. So I mean, taste would obviously be different, but the product more or less is the same. Another example of sub-brand I would like to give is again of Nike. How many of us have heard Nike Air or Nike Max or Jordans? So under this brand, there are so many sub-brands. But if you know you're talking, if I talk about Jordan, you know I'm talking about a particular company, a sub-brand. Another example I'll give is that if I talk about Maruti Suzuki, they have maybe 15 brands of cars. So over a period of time, they have developed a secondary meaning for brand. They have created significance of their own. Can somebody tell me what is the problem here? Yes. So all of us are educated. We are aware about the brands. If I ask somebody to get me one of those from the local stores or markets, So you can easily identify and recognize the name and get it. But the problem where the court identified, and under this judgment of 2003-27 PTC, uh, that since the trademarks are territorial in nature and it is available throughout the length and breadth of the country, how do we stop this? Because if I say कि वो toothpaste ले आओ, पहले तो बोलते थे कि Colgate ले आओ, you know, toothpaste was known by Colgate. And if I ask my servant or my help to go and get this toothpaste, and of course somebody as a help who's not educated as much as we are, तो he'll see अच्छा color same है, texture same है, सब कुछ same है, size wise में कुछ difference होता नहीं है, and he gets me an anchor instead of a Colgate. So to avoid all that, this judgment by the court says that you cannot have the same trade dress. There are more examples. So this is how the trademark certificates look once issued. Earlier, this is how it has been since 2017. When the IPR regime changed in India, then there were new rules formed, importance were given. The ministry had under Startup India scheme and MSME, they had started offering a lot of rebates to startups, MSME, students, institutions, that if you file your trademarks or patents or copyright for that matter, a lot of subsidy is given on the government fees and etc. So once a trademark certificate is issued, this is what it looks like, and a trademark is valid for 10 years from the date of application. Let's say if I file application today, and generally a trademark application takes about good 1.5 year to register. Because it has 5-6 stages that we'll talk in depth in the next session. So once I have the trademark, let's say because of various process, at times it gets delayed also, and because of the COVID, process has been in backseat, and now the certificates are taking good 3.5 years. So, but don't worry, ma'am, I can see your expression, don't worry. Since your application is filed, your rights are protected. You can continue to do your business. You can, your name would be protected. Irony is that in India, trademark filings is not mandatory. You can start your business even without having filed a trademark application. But to enforce your trademark, let's say you keep XYZ, I also keep XYZ. You are a prior user of that brand name. I'm not. I copied you, but I filed my application. Then you will have to go all of that hassle to prove yourself, to dig out all those documentation, to show your business transactions, to prove it in court or with the police that yes, you are a prior registration, to stop me. So to avoid all that hassle, it is always mandatory to file a trademark application, to avoid all this hassle. In case you want to do it without it, your choice. All right. Copyrights. So these are a few examples of copyrights that we were discussing. So like trademarks which are granted for 10 years, and the trademarks are renewed after every 10 years once from the date of application. In case of copyrights, anything that you write, create, dance, I know, you do coding, you create a software, you do a website, whatsoever. Any copyright that you do, you have and you file for it and it is granted. The validity is 60 years after the death of the owner or the author of that copyright. So anybody Now I'll give a short example. Any song that you see nowadays, so how does that happen? One, you need to take um, license, you need to take permissions, you need to pay royalty, and even then the original creator will remain the same, and the rights of that song, or for that matter any copyright, will remain with the original creator even after his death, 60 years after his death. For another example, I'll say Amitabh Bachchan. He always quotes in his any conference that he attends or any event that he goes to. He always quotes something or the other from his father's book, Harivansh Rai Bachchan. And why? Because after the death of Amitabh Bachchan's father, the legacy has passed to him, and he can only maintain it till 60 years, and then after that it is a public document. It will be in the public domain and for anybody to and everybody to use it. For the since we are on that matter, likewise for patents, the life cycle of a patent, it is granted for 20 years, but it has to be renewed after first 10 year, then 15th year, and then at 20th year. Because patent is something which helps public at large, the community. So you cannot hold it forever. You have to give it to the public for their safety, for their development, for their growth. One example I would like to share on this patent is, anybody heard? No. Volvo. Volvo is a huge brand name in the automobile industry, and they had developed this three-way seat belt. Before that, it was only two-way. And since they had developed it, they had engineered it, and it was saving lives of people, so they never filed a patent application for it. Had they did it, they would have a monopoly, and they would have minted money like anything. But keeping in mind the safety of the people and the necessity of that product, they never claimed, or they never filed any patent application for that. Here's some of the examples of the work under copyright. So one important thing about copyright is that, being students, we copy a lot for our projects. We copy a lot from internet. Please ensure to give right credits and mention it in your projects or workbooks or wherever you do it, so that the teacher also don't catch hold of you. Also, the person from where you have, either it is internet or somebody's reference or under anybody's guidance that you have done, you need to mention it, because at the end of the day it can be an integrity issue also, and plus if you have not done that, you might end up paying royalty to that person. So it is always advised that you give them their due credit. So okay, now like I was saying, copyrights, when I said the rights remain with the author or the owner for 60 years after the death of the owner. So there are two things. One is owner and one is author. The owner is example of I'll give an example of a music industry. Let's say T Series. He's the owner, and author is maybe one of the singers that they have on board. The author has no right on it, because author has been paid his fees, he's getting his dues, he's getting due recognition, he's been promoted, he's been advertised everywhere, his name, royalty has been given to him from time to time. but the owner will remain T series. So one small example, and to give clarity on the author and the owner in case of copyright. In case you develop any project here, one more example. In case you develop any project in this college, the college will remain on the owner, not you. You are the author. If you write a book or any thesis that you write, you will always say that you are the author of that thesis or that project, but you're not the owner. Since you are here, you've researched, you have used the research facilities, you have researched the infrastructure. It is the right. It is you. The college is the owner of that. I think during starting of the seminar, I had mentioned that ideas cannot be patented, but copyright. So anything that you want to create, write, anything you have an idea of a new product maybe, or a new coding that you are doing, or any new software that you are developing, or a new product that you are wanting, or for that matter, if you are a design student, you want to create maybe a new comfortable chair for somebody, that helps public at large. So you need to mention every small bit of it with the design, with some pictures, drawings in it, so that your idea is protected in a literary work of copyright. Moving on to patents. Patents is like I mentioned before, it is creation of mind, but in the field of technology. Any technology that you develop, create, which is not existing in the world, it is something new, novel, you have coined it, that you can file for a patent. Or if there is already an existing process, existing product in the market, where you think little tweaks in that product will change the end outcome, or will ease, it will help the public at large, so that you can patent. All right, sorry. This is one appropriate example that I use every time, of a mobile phone. You will find everything here. Name of the brand, trademark. Yes, name, logo, whatever is there on the phone is trademark. The shape, the design is how the phone looks and feels. The technology which is there in a phone is patented. Copyright, whosoever has done it owns the copyright. So this is one of the best examples that I can share with you for an easy understanding of how intellectual property works. You'll find intellectual property around you everywhere. You drive a car, it has a different shape, different technology, different brand name, different color schemes. It's there. You're sitting on a chair, easiness, ingress, it's there. The comfort, the design, the look. You hold a pencil. I'll take example of Natraj or Apsara or domes or whatsoever. Every shape is different. Every name on that pencil is different. So we are surrounded by IPs. It's just how you identify it, how you use it, and how you implement it in your life is how we have to see it. With this, I'm going to end my session, and I have another session at 2 o'clock, I guess, where I will talk how trademark applications, patent applications, copyright applications are filed in India. What are the requirements? So that once you move out of college, you may start your own business or startup or join somebody. So it will help you, I guess. And in case anybody has any questions, I'm around. I'm here till 3:30. Um, Please feel free to connect with me. Reach out to me. Bug me with all the questions that you have. Uh, Thank you so much. You've been a wonderful audience.